What's going on, everybody? We're talking about EA today. We're talking about all kinds of gaming news, the press conferences. I've got some of the best YouTubers in the community around, starting with Crap Gamer. We got D, we got Zaire, and we all have a lot to say about what's been going on, guys. What do you guys think about this whole conference so far before we get into the specifics?
I give it a D+ overall.
A D+. That's a great grade.
Yeah, that's a good grade considering it's EA. Some of it was okay, some of it was just very boring.
Yeah.
I don't know if they really need a full conference like that, but I was excited by some stuff. Like the Battlefront stuff was really good. I thought the showing of Project Dylan, which is Anthem, was pretty cool. Seeing a couple of screenshots of Madden Scorpio was cool. So yeah.
What about you, D?
Yeah, I was impressed with Need for Speed.
What's Need for Speed called?
Payback.
Yeah, I like that we can finally do daytime driving, and hopefully they've corrected the mistakes from the first game, and it looks like they have. Battlefront looked incredible, blurring the lines between CGI and fucking gaming graphics. Like that was incredible. That Star Wars game that they showed for the phone, I don't know, that was kind of a waste of time. That bored me. Overall, I'd give them a C. It was a pretty good showing, and of course that Anthem game. Of course they showed us some Scorpio stuff. So I'm next licking my lips for tomorrow. But it was a pretty good show. I give it a C.
What about you, Z?
I didn't think it was that bad. You guys are probably not in sports, but NBA Live. I don't know. I got maybe high hopes for that. Maybe it can give 2K some competition, and 2K can step up their goddamn servers. But I was really blown away by the Star Wars stuff. You know what I mean? I know they have a contract with Sony, so I don't know if that was the pro stuff that they were showing, or maybe
that was PC stuff
or whatever. But the game looked amazing. It looks phenomenal.
I mean, Scorpio. That's obviously like what you'll see with Scorpio.
We hope to. You know what I mean? But that dark mode point with the is that the campaign, or was that still the multiplayer?
That was the multiplayer. You can play. What's really cool about the multiplayer, if you guys didn't catch it, was they're doing like rec points kind of. You get these battle points, and then you can use them for like heroes or vehicles in the game. So it's a lot like how Halo 5 did that with the different perks and things like that you can unlock and use the rec packs for. So you use those in Battlefront 2, and you can like I said, pick up a hero or tanks or whatever. But I thought it looked absolutely stunning, and the fact that they said there's free DLC. There's no paid maps. There's none of that. I think that's amazing. They listened to the fans there. I wish they would have done that with Battlefield 1.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefield 1 is like one of those things that that's really blowing my mind. It's like $50 for the premium. Yeah, like that content looks really good, but is it worth an extra $50? I'm not sure.
Yeah. And I actually just tweeted this out. I'd appreciate everybody listening, retweet, and hit the like. Me personally, I thought it was exactly what I expected. They did cut down on the sports stuff. I was surprised. I think they realized sports doesn't necessarily show well on a big stage like that for the most part. It looks like they're implementing some new physics. They're moving over to Frostbite with the sports games. Yeah. But overall, it was Battlefront, the new IP from BioWare. Really, we've got a list here. And like I said, we can start with Madden 18. Anybody going to play this? Anybody look forward to this?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I like Madden. There's a story mode now. Like you're in college and you work your way up. So I like that. They're switching over to the Frostbite engine. They said that the Scorpio is going to be the definitive version. It was built on Scorpio.
That's what they said live on the stage? They said that?
Well, that's what they said. I'm looking at the article right now. It says Madden 18 looks stunning on Scorpio. Will have the most detailed environments ever seen on console. EA says we needed new innovative new technology. So
that's really weird. I was under the impression nobody would support Scorpio, but that's awesome.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, look, the game looked amazing. I'm a Madden guy. I know it's super weird, right? But I buy football games probably. Well, I get them every year now, but there was a time there when I only get them every couple years or so. But this game looks absolutely phenomenal, and just with the screenshots that they showed off looked amazing. So I'm going to definitely pick that up. Frostbite engine is great. I'm hoping it holds up well on on the consoles, because so far sometimes Frostbite's been hit or miss with some stuff. Yeah. Like with the RPG.
I think anything's better than the Ignite issue.
So it's guaranteed not to be 720p on a Xbox.
Well, hey, they got it up. I think past that on 900p was what it was for Dragon Age, and I think Mass Effect, right?
Yep,
I
Mass
believe
Effect as well.
900p. So yeah, they should be able to do that. No problem.
No problem, and really, it doesn't matter because you're talking about Scorpio here. So of course,
hey, if you want more than that, than like 900p, then just get a Scorpio.
Exactly. But we can just look at the past year or two as a direct reference. Every single game tends to look better anyway on all platforms. They just moved the default renderer on Unreal Engine 4, for example, to DX12. More of these big engines are starting to really use that. So you're just going to get more inherently. And the full-on story mode, it was kind of cinema-like, right? They're really going for a movie-type experience in a Madden game.
Yeah, which is cool because they've done that with the FIFA game, right? And they're doing that again this year with the FIFA game. But they're also doing something similar when they brought back NBA Live, which is kind of cool. Like I like that they're adding single-player stuff to these multiplayer games because everybody, I guess, is complaining about that lately. We want more single player stuff,
right? Like the guy showed like 5 seconds of the story trailer. He's like, "That's the most innovative thing we've done in a decade." Like, okay, you're kind of insulting yourself, but at least you're doing something different, right? They've got to do something different.
I'll say this though, with FIFA, I do like that they're continuing Hunter's story from last year, which is really rare. Usually when these sports games have a story mode, it doesn't carry on to the next year, so you get to actually progress further into his career. I think that's a good addition to that game.
That's a really good point, actually. The story does continue, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's extremely interesting. I don't know if there's any other sports games that have done that, really.
No, that's the first that I'm hearing of. And I don't know if you guys played FIFA last year, but it was good. And I think it was the first EA game that actually used Frostbite. So you guys that are waiting for Madden, you're in for a treat because Frostbite, for FIFA, it translated well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm really excited about it. The fact that, look, these Madden games come out in August, so it is kind of lame that we have to wait a couple months. But still, I think it'll be, it'll be worth it. Like people play Madden throughout the year, so I don't really think it's going to be an issue. But something like it's that. Do you buy it now or do you buy it? You know what I mean? It's one of those situations.
Well, let's not forget that we're going to get it early in EA Access.
Right? In here for a second.
When does the game come out? Did they say?
Madden usually comes out August 15th or 18th or something like that.
So I expect it 7 to 10 days early on Project Scorpio for EA Access.
Hey, in either case, what's here now is the chat, and you guys are awesome. Thanks for showing up. We're going to get into much better stuff. I can't believe we just wasted 10 minutes on Madden. Battlefield 1 DLC. What do you guys think about that? In the Name of the Tsar, featuring female soldiers, which there were a battalion or two of female soldiers in World War I, but it would be astronomical that you would actually see one on the battlefield. I think it's cool that they're adding this, and will that kind of change your ability? Can you change genders in normal matches, or is it only in the DLC? Like, I don't know how that's going to work, but it all sounds really neat. 8 maps. What do you guys think?
Well, they said they're introducing night maps to Battlefield 1 this summer as well.
Yep.
And then in the Name of the Tsar, Eastern Front battles as well. 8 new maps, women's battalions. They're bringing a lot of content. That's really impressive. Again, I'm just looking at that $50 price point. So I know they've already dropped some expansions and stuff. So I want to see a little bit more on this. It's like they didn't spend enough time on the Battlefield stuff, or you know what I mean, in my opinion. And then they spent a little bit too much time on like the soccer stuff. So I'm really excited to see a little bit more on this because I like Battlefield, but it might be one of those things I pick up the expansion and stuff when Scorpio comes out because it's gonna support Scorpio right from like day one. Like
I know Z. I don't think Z actually played Battlefield 1. Did you?
Yeah, I have it on the PlayStation 4 Pro. I'm sorry.
Oh, you fraud.
Wait, say that again a little louder.
He's like, yeah.
I got it on the Pro.
He's got it on the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Hey, well, let's hope that it gets a Scorpio patch. Apparently it's the easiest thing in the universe to port to. We might get it, but like you said, new DLC, females, 8 maps, night maps coming soon. Pretty cool. FIFA 18, we can blow past this one.
It's soccer, guys. D loves it, but the rest of us, probably not. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty popular in Nigeria, but what do you think?
It's not my thing.
Terrible. It's the number one sport in the world, my friend.
Yeah,
That it
well,
is. Yeah, not in North America, but it is.
Hey, cancer is like the number one killer in the world. It's not so, are you going to buy this bitch day one? I know to get a Scorpio patch.
Well,
hey, a better question, D. Are you actually going to buy it on Xbox this time?
Yeah, D
well,
terrible.
As we're going into Scorpio, yeah, I'm most definitely going to be buying these games because I have a funny feeling that at at Microsoft's conference, they're going to announce a lot of these games will be play anywhere. So I'll be good both ways.
Yeah. Me, I've never.
I'm so damn lonely on PC, though, man. Jesus.
You're over there playing.
PC is. I'll tell you why I have PC. PC is more for single player games. I don't really play a lot of multiplayer games on the PC. They're for single player games that I want to live my inner graphics whore out with, and for multiplayer I prefer Xbox because the community is really good there. Everyone has a microphone on, the connectivity is good. I just enjoy it. And
I don't know. Even when I'm playing a single player, I need to talk to my friends. I need to bug out. This is me. I'm not knocking those that do. I don't know. I just don't know what it's honestly my thing with PC. Sometimes it just can be so goddamn difficult booting back to the blue screen and you got to download patches and all
got to stay off that X hamster, man.
I got to say this though in defense of PC. That type of shit, that's over with. PC is pretty straightforward now, to be honest with you.
It has gotten better, but yeah, it's not even.
I'm just saying, I took advantage of a couple of those Steam sales, and I'll give you a game. We sell the story, Dirt 3. I bought it before I got my first rate, and I paid all this goddamn money, and I had to go, and Steam was no help. They don't have a hotline or anything like that at the time, back in like 2012. And I had to go to this Russian site or some shit. We talking about the collusion here. Before Trump, I had to go to this Russian goddamn site and get a patch and file and patch it another. I don't want to go through all that shit, bro. You know what I mean? I just want to sit on my ass, plug and play at the end of the day.
I'm sorry. I got to dispel that shit, to be honest with you.
This is what happened to me. I'm telling you,
first of all, Steam. No, okay, I believe it happened then, but now it's not like that. Steam, Origin, all these games.
They got a number? They got a hotline?
Before you launch the game, they patch themselves and they update themselves.
Older games?
Even older games, yes. In the last year and a half, I think I've had problem with one freaking game.
Well, anyway, this isn't why PC isn't for Virgins podcast. So let's move on to Need for Speed Payback. What did you guys think about this? I thought it looked good in terms of the actual visuals.
Story I like it for the simple fact that it's kind of like a Burnout / Fast and the Furious type vibe.
Yeah, they definitely mixed burning in there, didn't they?
Yeah,
burn
in.
Burn in.
The guys that did Burnout, are they making this game?
No, this is Ghost Studios. Okay. I think it's the guys that did the last Need for Speed, but hopefully they learned it didn't have a guy in there with Band-Aids or whatever he had, rubber bands in his hair. He looked like Lisa from The Simpsons.
Yeah, the really bad acting. Like we could do a better job.
Hell, yeah, like the girl with the bubblegum wrapper tattoos on her. I'll fix your car. Like,
and she never held a wrench in her life. But the only thing funnier. The only thing funnier than that acting was the guy introducing this, and he's like, "I'm a YouTuber." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is bad."
He had like a muskrat on his head, and he's like, "Yeah, yo." Like, really bad. I don't know if the prompter was
a possum on his head.
He had a possum on his head. But yeah, it was bad. That YouTuber was horrible when it comes to public speaking. He was nervous, and I get it, but at the same time, get your shit together. So yeah, it looked great. It's got cops. It's got tons of customization. I saw blowers. I saw kind of road style superchargers. I saw wheelie bars. I saw massive like 335 millimeter tires. Looks like, and they even ripped off barn finds, by the way. So yeah, they've definitely got a lot of features in this game coming back.
And let me ask you a question. Is this game coming to PC?
Yes.
No clue.
It is. It's coming to PC. The number one thing that I did notice about it though was that the streets were populated. That was a problem with the first one. It was like a ghost town. It was like weeds rolling by in the streets. There was nobody in the streets. It was horrible, and you could only race in the nighttime. So I like the fact that this game seems a lot more diverse already.
Yeah, this one's more dynamic, and like I said, you get to play as 3 different characters. So, Need for Speed's never been anything for simulation or something you go to for realism, but it's been something traditionally in the past, especially with Most Wanted, which came out right around the time of the 360. That was a really good game. You could just chill back and just race, and you didn't have to worry about apexes or proper lines or driving. It was just one of those games you just had fun with. So we'll see if they return it that way as well. Now let's talk about A Way Out, one of the most innovative, unique games we saw at the entire conference. It's more like a prison break game. What do you guys think about that?
You know what?
It's called A Way Out? I didn't see it.
You didn't see it? Okay, A Way Out was the one. It was made by the guys that made Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which was actually an indie game that I liked last generation. Believe it or not, really interesting, really good, deep storytelling, even though there's no actual like talking in the game. And so this game looked really interesting. Like you have to play it co-op. It's split screen co-op. You have to play it either couch co-op or someone online, which is super interesting.
Yeah, like even if you're online, Z, you still have to do split screen. Yeah. So they kind of went into detail. Maybe one character is in the middle because you start out as two different characters. Obviously, it's co-op only. You cannot play it by yourself. One character is already in prison. One's arriving to prison. Now, in the beginning of the game, I'm assuming maybe one character is up on the balcony, and you can actually move around freely, player 2 or whatever. Player 1 is just getting to the prison in a cutscene.
Yeah.
And they kind of act like you set up your own scenarios on how to break out of this prison. And it's very dynamic in the way you decide to distract or obtain items to get where you need.
I'm looking at it now. This is nice.
Yeah, it looks good, and it's a smaller budget game. Yeah,
it's a small budget game.
Yeah,
it's not a massive AAA game. It's the same guys who did Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is available on Xbox One as well.
Yep.
It was one of the more interesting games on the stage, in my opinion. So, like I said, it is a prison break style game. You get out, it looks like you escape from the cops. Co-op, front to back, co-op only. And if you play it online, you play it in couch co-op. It is only available on split screen, even if you're playing on your own system across the world. You are still going to see the other person's screen. So I think that's a first. And it looks very dynamic and unique, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. When's this game coming out?
I don't think they said.
Yeah, they didn't say, but it's definitely one of those more
early 2018.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. Like I like that we're seeing some interesting stuff come out now. You know what I mean? Like we're getting all the power stuff. Well, just in time for the power narrative to be settled. We're getting interesting games. Yay! So yeah, I mean it does look interesting though. It's just something that I'll definitely want to pick up. I've seen some people not too high on it because it's like you have to play split screen. But to me, that's like adds a whole nother dynamic to it. It looks cool, so I'm definitely down for that.
What's going on, Rob Austin, Xbox Pope, Buddha Time? Thank all of you guys. Almost 500 people watching. Finger bang that like button. Thanks for all the support. And of course, if you got any questions, be sure and put them in the chat for any member in the chat here. So, Project Scorpio, they talked about it briefly. Crap, go ahead and lead on this.
Yeah, they talked about Project Scorpio. They said true 4K. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. This is what they said. They said, we need innovative new technology. So we were thrilled when we first got our hands on Project Scorpio dev kits from Microsoft. 6 T-flops and true 4K graphical fidelity. And then they went on. That's exactly what EA said on stage, bro. And then they showed some Madden 18 pictures. And he's like, these are just a taste of what can be accomplished with the combined power of Frostbite and Project Scorpio.
Some of the most detailed worlds ever seen in a video game. That's what they said on stage, thanks to Project Scorpio. And as we've said, as I've said for almost a year now, that extra gigabyte, those extra gigabytes of RAM enable things that you literally cannot do. Even if PS4 Pro was 10 teraflops. Without more than 8 gigabytes of GDDR5, and Scorpio was at 6 and had 12 gigs, Scorpio would do things Pro couldn't do, even if Pro's GPU was faster.
Hey, can I bring us something up real quick?
Yes, sir.
They talked about Scorpio, but when they showed PS4, they showed the PS4 Slim. Like they didn't even show the Pro.
Like, I think it's a high likelihood, as a matter of fact. I mean, this might go out on a limb here, but Scorpio is infinitely easier to develop for, according to devs. 1 day, 2 days, as little as a week. That's unheard of. It could be that some platforms may not get support and some may, and you might be surprised at which one does. So who knows? It's interesting. So yeah, they showed kind of a in real time render of Madden 18 running on Scorpio. Looked phenomenal. Of course, what did you say? The stream was restricted to 720p?
Yeah, the stream was restricted to 720p because, like, when they brought out that woman to talk about Battlefront, I was like, man, I wish this was 1080 or some shit, but
no. You watched it on Mixer?
No, I watched it. Well, I was watching it on YouTube because I was working too, so I'm sitting there watching and trying to take notes.
That's why I watched it too. Yeah.
Yeah, like
So you was back of the tow truck fixing flax and watching this on your Windows phone?
No, man, I'm watching it on my PC, dude. Look, because I knew we were gonna do an after show, so I took notes so I don't sound like an idiot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like you said, 720p on YouTube, it still looked decent to me. I think video files, like in terms of a movie or a show, looks much better than a video game does at 720p, right? So they could get away with a little more. But imagine on Mixer with Scorpio's reveal, you're watching it on Mixer 4K. That's almost 8 times. That's almost 8 times the resolution you're going to get on Mixer over what you just saw if you watched it on YouTube just now. So this stuff is going to be crystal clear. It's going to be insane. Let's talk about Anthem. And by the way, EA did say stay tuned to Xbox's event tomorrow for much more on their games. So it's a very real possibility we may get Battlefront 2 there. We're definitely getting Anthem, which is the next thing I want to talk about. Yeah, new IP from BioWare.
So if you guys didn't know, Project Dylan was what the BioWare A team was making instead of Mass Effect Andromeda, which is made by like the new B or C team or whatever it was. So the A team was making this new thing called Project Dylan, which is now Anthem, and it looks like this kind of really amazing. Looks like a cross between a couple different games, honestly. But one thing that has my interest peaked is that it just looks phenomenal. It's a new IP, and they're going to be showing it off on Scorpio. So a lot of people, they were like, Microsoft needs some real heavy hitters on, marketing rights. And now here we go. We know they're going to get some gameplay on that tomorrorow. Everybody's going to tune in for it.
Gameplay on what? Assassin's Creed?
No.
Possibly Battlefront 2.
I'm sorry. Listen, baby. I done took these magic beans. Please forgive me.
Next gen. Next gen. Tomorrow, right? We're podcasting most of the day. Please, people hear it, bro.
Yes.
Okay, so Project Dylan is actually called Anthem Next Gen, and they showed off a teaser.
I'm just talking about you. I saw
and they're showing off gameplay tomorrow on Scorpio on the Xbox stage.
I was getting my catheter changed when they showed that. I'm sorry. But I got you. Yeah, I saw it.
Wait, it's spinning around on me now. I look like an asshole.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Almost 600 watching, guys. Hit that like button. You guys are awesome. Anthem. Get back to the actual topic besides magic beans and catheters. Let's talk about Anthem, which is the new IP from BioWare, the A team, the guys that made Mass Effect 1 through 3. They gave Mass Effect Andromeda to a B team that had never made a game before, to my knowledge. And the real BioWare, the guys who made Inquisition, yes, they made mistakes there, but they have kind of addressed that after the game launched. Yeah. These guys are working on a game called Anthem. Looks futuristic, but dystopian in the at the same time somehow, like mech suits, and it looks interesting. What do you guys think about this?
I'm excited. A little bit more of it. So I'm looking forward to what they reveal tomorrow. But the graphics, they looked excellent, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. And this is the first E3 where those graphics, you're going to see it on your console for the first time, really.
And I also noticed that with Madden. I know we're off of that topic, but with Madden, when they were zooming in on those renders and they were detailing the textures, you could really see the ultra textures on the uniforms, the stitching, the padding. I just can't wait for tomorrow, to be honest with you, man.
Sim in the chat has a good point. He says, no new Dead Space. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I was really disappointed when they put Visceral on Battlefield Hardline, essentially what was a Battlefield 4 DLC, in my opinion. And yeah, no new Dead Space yet. I think they got all their teams working on Star Wars projects, and I'm actually surprised we didn't see more Star Wars projects. You remember when they announced the big partnership, they showed several Star Wars games.
You know what? A clip came out, was it last year? Someone sent me on Twitter. I forgot who it was. Please forgive me. We seen what's the writer from that was with Naughty Dog?
Uncharted, right?
Amy Hennig.
Yeah, her. And I guess this was the one that she was working on. It's I guess it's not a one player, like a one player single, a story driven game or something. And there was somebody walking out like a desert or something. It looked really nice. It was like 10 seconds of it. They're supposed to show it behind closed doors.
She
Maybe
confirmed
Microsoft will bring that on stage tomorrow.
No,
I don't know.
she kind of confirmed that. I was just reading that this is Star Wars Battlefront 2's year, and they're not going to be there. So
yeah, makes perfect sense. And Bang Bang Kamehameha, shout out to him. He asks if Anthem is an exclusive for Xbox. No, I would say that it's just a marketing thing. So that's kind of the thing. Anybody that was worried about that, you still get to play it on your platform. It's the same for Battlefront, Red Dead, Destiny. You still get to play it on your Xbox, but in this case, it's going to look better on Xbox. It's going to be great.
Yeah, maybe
we don't know too much about it, right? We don't know too much about it.
We don't know anything about it.
Yeah, we know it's got weird little tiny mech suit type deals and creatures. That's about it. But they did say stay tuned till tomorrow. NBA 18. Anybody interested in this?
Yes, I am.
Live.
NBA Live to 18.
Yeah, I am. Just to see what even with the last was the NBA Live 2016. It wasn't that bad. It was much better than when they put out. In 2013? That shit was horrible. But to me, the problem that Live has is not as fluid as 2K. But those that play 2K, you know what I'm talking about. Like you do the moves effortlessly. It's not like that on Live. They can get that down pat, and 2K has shit servers. That's another story in its entirety. If they can get the fluidity down pat, and where you execute the moves, not make them so kind of cheesy. I think I don't think it will overtake 2K. Because 2K is just like 2K is bigger than Madden now by far.
Yeah, they're shit.
Yeah, maybe they can give them some because competition is good. You know what I mean? I know the 2K fanboys are not going to like that, but that's what Madden's kind of been shit for so many years. They don't have any competition.
Hey, at least they're bringing that story mode to that shit now.
Hey, Jay Fonzarelli says NBA Live looked like NBA 2K's weird uncle. Yeah, it looks a little different, but it looks like they're innovating with the whole sticks and how you dribble and all that. And Simon Russell, sorry, man, I caught your name for a split second. But, basically, he wants to know what we're looking forward to most this E3. What are you looking forward to, Crap?
You know what? I'm looking forward to just the Scorpio stuff, like finally getting all that stuff out there in the open. Like to me, there's just nothing better than that. We know where we stand. Like even if you're in a bad place, at least you know where you stand. So I think that's what I'm most excited for. I want to see what's up.
Yeah, me personally, it's the I'm most excited to see their messaging, how they're going to tackle this, how aggressive they're going to be. We already know with their little teasers, they're saying feel true power. Reminds me of Sega, and that's good. No more timid, hiding in the fucking corner, afraid to get shit beat out of them with an extension cord. Microsoft, we want to see these guys step up.
The behemoth that we had to be the behemoth that you are. Maybe, hopefully, finally, this goddamn.
Maybe, I mean, and you know what? They're in the position to do that. Like I said, they found their wallet, and they're using it to build a ridiculous console. So, once again, D, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Crackdown and finally seeing the cloud in action because we've heard about the cloud forever now. So I'm just dying to finally see it and shut these ponies up. And I'm excited to see what the actual console is going to look like and, of course, the price.
Yeah, Crackdown looked awesome. When they were showing that gameplay before IGN actually streamed EA's event, they talked about Crackdown. And there was some gameplay in the background. And when I saw these buildings hitting the ground and stuff, like the guy was running next to it, it just reminded me of how next level that destruction is. Better than any destruction you've ever seen in any game ever. Looks pretty damn awesome. Got me really hyped for the game as well. Just seeing that clip, remembering what that game is going to be like and be about,
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to?
I think, hold on. Yeah, I was just going to say Crackdown definitely is going to be something that I think a lot of people are going to be excited to see because from what I understand, it's going to be like a really big showpiece and Microsoft is kind of centering and hoping that that's going to be a big title because people are always like it's only Forza and Fable it was Forza, Gears, and Halo. That's it. So I mean, Crackdown is getting its third game. So I think that this is a kind of make or break it kind of situation for that IP. So I want to see it really showcase well. Not only is it going to like really hit those naysayers in the mouth with the cloud compute, but also with the people that are like it looks like a 360 game. And when you start seeing like total destruction. Tell me what 360 game can do that, brother.
They clearly haven't seen the new footage.
Apparently.
Yeah. They clearly haven't seen the new footage, man. The new footage looks crystal clear. The effects are off the chain. The explosions, the build. You could stack, 50 360s. It wouldn't do that kind of shit. They need 9 cloud servers just to do one explosion at some points, they said, right? So, this is some next level shit. You got to give them props. Z, what are you looking forward to?
From tomorrow's Microsoft E3. I'm looking forward to of course, the Scorpio, the multiplats. But again, the pricing, like I said today, I think even if it does come in at $500, which I think is probably going to be 500 or 450, I just don't see $400. Not saying I don't want it $400, but I just think maybe us as Xbox fans, and put out all you trust me, we can maybe set ourselves up for the okie doke, but wishing for a $400 price tag. I think them trying to compete with Sony on that level, their ship has sailed. But I just want to see the games, you know what I mean? And they have to show the Scorpio. They are, when I say in a tricky situation, because of course it's going to be all about the Scorpio, but they still want to sell Xbox One S. They have to show it off in the light and not totally take a shit on the Xbox One S because they're still trying to sell those things also. I want to see how they do that, you know what I mean? But I don't, honestly, just be clear, nothing that they show on that stage tomorrow should be all Scorpio, whatever, and pound that home. You're not going to get this on any other console, this level of detail. You know what I mean? They have to pound that home.
It's all about the messaging, And Joe Vargas in the chat, man, he says $499 is the right price. There is no debate here. It will not be higher than $499. As I've always said, $450 could go up or down $50. Just expect a good price for a performance. It's worth every single penny at $499. It just is, So they're paying for more than the Pro paid for. They're paying for more RAM, better hard drive.
A dealer, and at the end of the day, besides, the casual, they're not going to get into that, what's inside and the internals. Yeah, but a lot of people see more what the Pro's doing. But, I bought a Pro day one, just to be clear. I bought a Pro, and it doesn't look, hear me out, resolution doesn't give you better graphics, okay? It doesn't look that better graphically. Long as the Scorpio can come out, I'm not talking about that digital foundry side by side, what has more grass, and no, they do that shit there. Long as the casual can tell by their eye, it looks better graphically than what's on the Pro, they won't have a problem justifying a $500 price tag. You know what I mean? With the 4K 60 gameplay recording, all this good shit there they're going to be doing, they're not going to have a problem with that. You know what I mean?
You got a point when you said resolution isn't necessarily graphics, because if you look at well, yeah, we all have, but I'm just saying that if you look at games on PC like Star Wars Battlefront 2, you can run it at 4K, 8K, whatever you want. The game looks the same, it's just extremely sharp. Resolution is there to augment any graphics effects that are in the game. So if you got better lighting, you got more particles, it's going to make everything look better. But if it's just the same shit at a high resolution, it'll look a little sharper. So that really does make a big difference there. So let's jump into arguably the best part, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Thoughts.
No arguably about it, man. This game was amazing. I thought it was fantastic. So Battlefront 2 is confirmed to have 3 times the content of the first game. It's got the skirmish co-op modes. It's got more heroes, more planets, a really deep progression system with customizations. All the post-launch DLC is free, free maps and all that kind of stuff. If you pre-order, you get early access to the beta. It's got all the eras from Star Wars. So it's got like the CIS, the Clone Wars stuff, the old school trilogy, the new stuff. It's got a good mix of everything. So this is the Battlefront game that people want. It's got space battles, which the last one didn't have, a single player campaign, which the last one didn't have. And again, free DLC, folks. They finally get it. Free DLC. Don't separate your audience in a multiplayer game. Glad they're finally picking up on that. I thought it looks absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to play it. It looks amazing from what we saw. It was, of course, PC footage, but you can imagine that Scorpio is going to look pretty much the same as that. So I'm stoked for this game. It's a day one buy all the way, man.
Yeah. I agree. Battlefront 2, and more than anything, in my opinion, it's the fan service in regards to the free seasonal content, the lack of a season pass. EA, they have these periods.
It's just free. All the DLC.
Yeah, they just got rid of the season pass, and they're giving you seasonal content. And EA have these periods where, their head gets cold and they shove it up their ass for a little bit, and then they peek out. Everything okay? And then they pull it out and they're like, okay, no DLC pass. They have these little stints where they do right by the consumer, and I'm glad they're doing this with Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's the best thing to me.
I don't think so much as they're doing the right thing, because they kind of got shit on for no campaign or story mode or whatever in the first Star Wars Battlefront. And then they had the season pass, and that kind of rubbed people, because that kind of killed the fan, like the online community. The game sold phenomenally well, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like 27 million or something.
You know what I mean? But the way that they handled that, was like 50. That stuff that they gave us in the DLC, which I didn't buy, it should have been free, or some of it, half should have been free. You know what I mean? They should have given the first DLC, all that stuff free, and then charged for the second part of the review. Maybe they could have did that. Maybe.
And then it got even worse, see, when they admitted that they rushed it because of the movie, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that game, it was a quarter of a game, and they sold you the other half of the half at a $50 premium, which is really, it sucks. The game looked phenomenal.
I liked it.
They were using a new photogrammetry technology to basically make the game look next level in terms of the textures and stuff. But geez, you know, it definitely, they're making it up with this one. That's how I feel so far. D, I know you got shit to say about this, man. Jump in.
Yeah, I can't wait for this game. Now, first off, I think the first game, they failed miserably on providing a single player experience. I think that's what really tanked that game, more so than it being light on the content for multiplayer. If it at least had a single player, it would have had longer legs. Now, the new version, I'm really, really excited for it. It looks fantastic, and I love the fact that they're throwing in all that stuff for free. And I think other companies need to follow suit, because I'm tired of paying $79 for a game and then paying another $79 just to get extra content for that game that should already be in it. So I think this is a goodwill towards the fans, and it's going to be a day one buy for me. Right after this podcast, I'm going to go on Amazon. I'm going to pre-order it.
What are you pre-ordering it for?
I'm going to pre-order it for Scorpio.
Oh, okay, there you go. So Xbox One, because
why even buy it physically, man? Just pre-order on the dashboard, you know.
No, some games I buy digitally. Some games I buy.
Well, they do fuck you in Canada pretty hard. I mean, some people.
But a game like that, I know after a year, I'm probably going to be tired of it. So instead of it just sitting there and I'll never play it again, at least I can get $10-15 for it. So that's why some games I buy them physically still.
Yeah, shout out to Foxfire as we go into Zaire's opinions of Star Wars Battlefront 2. What do you think, buddy? I know you're getting this. You're a super casual.
Nah, man. I like. I listen. I like shooters, bro. That was my shooter of last year. When it came out last year, it came out, right?
Yeah.
No, bro.
Oh shit! I wasn't diabetic. What's up, all day? 16. Yeah. I think it's dope. It looks better graphically. What's my man? I like the Dark Maul was running around, and that was the multiplayer part. You guys are sure?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
even damn, imagine what the campaign is going to look like if that was the multiplayer. Because you know the multiplayer is not as detailed as the campaign. That looked phenomenal. They had to be running that on a $12,000 PC. That shit looked crazy. I can't wait. I'm super. I'm ecstatic, man. I wish Microsoft would have got the goddamn marketing deal and had a themed Scorpio with the Dark Vader face in the front. Yeah, that'd have been huge. But
hey, again, Sony has the marketing deal, but only shows off a slim PS4 at the end of it. So, I mean.
They did emphasize the fact that you should stay tuned tomorrow for much more of their stuff, which is really interesting.
I do have a slight concern with the game, though. Hopefully, it's balanced, because like I saw Darth Maul doing that spinning thing with his saber. I'm like, holy shit!
The Stormtrooper blender, yeah.
Yeah, because in the original one, like I'll be honest with you, when I saw Darth Vader, I usually half time threw a couple of bombs and like ran, because it was a little bit unbalanced where he just like murked you. So hopefully, Kylo Ren will balance out Yoda. Luke Skywalker will balance out Darth Maul. They can.
Somebody just said. Jez Gordon said Scorpio's 450. I said Scorpio's 450, motherfucker. God damn it. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Jez Gordon. Yeah, he's the guy behind Windows Central and stuff. He's really cool. But yeah, D. I mean, let's put it to this. Let's put it this way, D. We know you're getting it. We know you're getting it physically, right? And we know that the disc's got a little hole in it. You're gonna do some weird shit to the little hole in the disc. I mean, you like it that much?
Yeah, I'm gonna get my T Reaper on.
It's T Reaper. Shout out to
R. Kelly of the community.
We were just what? We should have sent him a link. We were just with that dude just now.
Oh, jeez. We didn't really give anyone the details. We do have people in here that didn't actually watch it, but just so people know, the game is being developed by 3 different teams simultaneously.
Yes.
It's going to have a cinema caliber story, according to the actress on stage. They did show off 30 minutes of full gameplay that's live now, and of course, Scorpio support's going to be off the chain. So
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you guys a question. Maybe I don't know. It seems like you would think that. Well, I think it is. Which EA's primary shooter was it Battlefield, or you think it's going to be Star Wars? Like I said, men lie, women lie.
It's both. Yeah, they said they had over 20 million people playing Battlefield. So,
is that including? It sold 20 million copies. Jesus.
Well, I mean, it's a big seller, man. Battlefield 1 was hot. You have to remember that came out. Everybody was like tired of the future warfare stuff, and so.
But I think my thing is though, What the hell did Call of Duty didn't sell then? Because that's still the #1 goddamn shooter.
Probably more because that game had Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered on there.
But I think Battlefield has a larger online community, anyways, because the Star Wars Battlefront community, it's kind of slim pickings. I don't know if it's because once again, no single player, the way they handle the
Battlefront. The reason I'll tell you this, right? Just go into a little bit of a story. My original online community versus kind of competitive thing was Star Wars Battlefront 2 on the PS2, right? That was my first clan back in 2005, 2006. That was the first taste of that, where we'd battle other teams on Battlefront 2. That had a really good community, and the reason was because it had in-game chat, which Star Wars Battlefront from 2015 didn't have that. There was a lot of different modes, Conquest, capture the flag, galactic conquest. It covered all the different eras and stuff like this. This was bare bones and it was class based before as well. And then they changed that up to where it's not class based, and you recover your health by just sitting there, which was different as well. It was very casual.
It was streamlined. Yeah. There wasn't that many guns. There really wasn't that many maps, and Walker Assault only worked on a select number of maps. There was just a lot of modes. Like I said, and some maps didn't work with certain modes, and it just kind of divided a lot of people. But the game ran well. I felt like the skeleton of the game was there, and apparently they've improved on that drastically and added all that content we complained about not having. And crap, I know you know this. Somebody in the chat wants to know when Microsoft's briefing is tomorrow.
It's 5 p.m. Eastern.
So 4 p.m. Central and 2 p.m.
West Coast.
Pacific.
West Coast.
Pacific, whatever that is, yeah.
So that's going to be awesome. Expect to hear from all of us about that. We're going to have a show on Craft's channel. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, okay, this is how it works tomorrow, right? There's MNC Mornings in the morning, regular time. Then we do a pre-show. Then we do a live during show on Next-Gen's channel. Then at 8 o'clock Eastern on my channel is the after show, where we've all had a little bit of time to digest our thoughts and really hammer out what we think in detail. We don't want to jump into an opinion. So we take a little bit of time right from the end of the show, grab something to eat, grab an adult beverage, and then we come back hard at 8. Yeah. Then we come back hard at 8. So yeah, that's how we roll.
Take some Viagra and come back hard at 8.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Hey, you know what? This is nothing for us, man. This is the 4th year that BGST has really kind of done this. So it's we do it because everybody likes it. We enjoy it. It's fun.
Fun doing it too.
It's Christmas for gamers, man. I look forward to it.
Hey,
shout out to the guys in UK. We know you guys gotta stay up a little later for it, but it will be worth.
They stay a little. They're 6 hours behind us.
Yeah,
in front of us.
It'll be worth every fucking minute.
I heard the show was 97 minutes. They got 7 extra minutes now.
7 more minutes of indies, bro. Woo!
Hey, listen, like I said, they spend that 7 minutes on those indies. Next-Gen's coming out the shirt. You guys will see the staples. I'm popping them out by my hand.
Oh God, keep your nipples in your shirt, bro.
Nah, shit. They no man. That weird.
Jesus Christ.
With that leather toothpaste talking about what's that shit? Minecraft and 2D and
I mean, like I told you guys, I think this will be a little different. I told you there wouldn't be VR there. There's not going to be VR there, and I don't think they're going to waste a lot of time on Minecraft. They might mention it and say, fuck, it's 4K. Yay, cool. You could probably do 8K on that game, right? So no one really cares. But this is different. They said they extended it because they had too many games, and they didn't want to leave stuff out. So it's a win-win for everybody watching, So
hey, Aaron Greenberg said, according to the Xbox Pope, shout out him. He says Aaron Greenberg said it was longer than 97 minutes.
Yeah, he did.
So
I mean, he said to set your DVR a little bit longer because it's going to
longer than that. Yeah, so longer than 97. That's interesting.
I don't know.
I want to ask you guys: do you guys think we're going to see any Star Wars Battlefront footage tomorrow at Project Scorpio?
You know what? I heard from Jez Corden that, and this isn't really throwing him under the bus because I think he tweeted this at a point, and I had mentioned 4 big games that Sony had marketing rights.
He loses his job tomorrow.
Yeah. I said, look, Microsoft's going to have to show some of these games, and he goes, they're going to show at least one of the ones you mentioned on their stage. So.
Yeah, because the reason why I say that is because obviously we know that Sony has the deal with Battlefront, yet they were showing it on PC. So,
yep, and you know what? We saw multiplayer today. If they do show it, I think we'll see single player tomorrow on Microsoft stage, and we'll definitely see Anthem and all that stuff. But once again, guys, thanks for joining us. Be sure and hit that like button, show your support, subscribe to everybody here on the channel.
Yeah.
And if you want more of this stuff, let us know by doing these things. You guys are fucking awesome. Look forward to all kinds of stuff tomorrow. Scorpio videos, podcasts. Foxfire says she had 5 podcasts. Your ass cheeks are going to fall off after that. That's insane. But yeah, man, thanks for rocking out with us. Anything you guys want to say before we go?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, you guys all see good stuff that you want to play or whatever. You know what I mean? Just hey, don't be dicks out there. That's what I want to say, man. Don't be dicks.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the biggest dick tomorrow. I got beat up for 3 years, man. Are you shitting me?
We know you got beat up, man.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you, shout out to my man Pony Wolf, man. He hit me up yesterday, man. He said, man, I'm not a part of that council war anymore. He said, ask Phil, he knows. I don't know what the hell's going on. She getting real spooky right now. Shout out to my man Pony Wolf, man.
Those are those E3 Scorpio flip flops that they're selling.
Hey, bro, listen. I said this last year. I said Wolf will be back next year around E3 to Scorpio. And I bet Jabari $50, man. I need my money, Jabari. I need my money, man.
It's easy enough. You should bet those guys more often. You'd be a billionaire.
Yeah. Oh, he's got to catch up, man, because K Mega slapped him around.
Listen. The people have spoken. They want a rematch, man. I was moving 2 frames a second. And listen, I need a rematch, man. You beat me. Shit.
Somebody said EA killed my hope for E3. Come on, man.
EA has always done really bad stuff. It's like they can't really.
It's the appetizer. It's the appetizer.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 did look phenomenal. You got to.
I would say Ubisoft usually have shits E3s, but I like the Anthem. You got the other new game. What's it called? With the 2-player co-op. What's that called?
The Way Out.
The Way Out. You got the Anthem. You got the Way Out. Star Wars Battlefront looked great. What's that? Need for Speed looked pretty good. I'm okay on NBA.
Madden 4K. Yeah, man, that's what's up.
It was pretty good. It wasn't bad. You know what I mean?
A lot of, like I said on Xbox, I made a post on Xbox. A lot of people were hitting the like button on E3. The week crows went extinct. All them motherfuckers are going to be eating a lot of crow. So just look forward to that.
Hey, when I mean don't be a dick, I mean don't be a personal dick. If you want to like brag or whatever, that's fucking fine. But just don't be I'm just.
We need a guy that goes around and does the math. 1440p x this 4K. This is 5.2 million more pixels.
Hey, did you see Digital Foundry this morning? They were talking about how the PS4 or how Scorpio is great for PS4.
Right? Hey, something real quick before I forget. They pointed out the fact that because Scorpio is getting super sampling stuff, that means the Pro might, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. Why you can't just take Digital Foundry for their word, because it was confirmed that is system level OS stuff. That is not on the developer's part. That's an unpatched game. Yeah. So just because Richard says something doesn't mean he's spot on or knows what the fuck he's talking about. He said, well, Scorpio's getting super sampling, so the Pro will start getting more super sampling. That's all OS automatic stuff for unpatched games. You think he would know that,
Yeah.
Anyway, I also noticed that he was really trying to pawn off 1440p. He's like, and the PS4 is going to have a lot of 1440p titles, but that's okay. And then he tried to lump in Scorpio, saying, and Scorpio's probably going to have a lot of checkerboarding games. What the fuck do you know, buddy?
Well, you know what's funny about that, D, is the fact that when he revealed the Scorpio, he goes, Scorpio was designed to run this generation's 91080p Xbox One games at native 4K on Scorpio. So how do you go from that to it'll probably use a lot of sparse rendering and checkerboard and things like that? And then, I agree, he did say that what he said about the other stuff, and then he goes, well, 1440p to native 4K, that's the equivalent of 720p to 1080. So he was really covering his ass, covering Sony's ass. I don't know. It's like that. That's kind of frustrating. Microsoft has to be really careful tomorrow with what they say and how they approach this and their price. If that guy comes out with anything more than $499 or even $499, you better get that cricket sound effect ready, because there's not going to be too many people.
Hey, this guy in the chat, Sierra Page or whatever, he says you can't super sample unpatched games. You're full of shit. See, this is what I'm talking about. Stupid idiots that don't know how to read. This was confirmed by Gama Sutra, Microsoft, Mike Ybarra. Okay, it's all at the OS level. The same way the games, Albert Pinello. It's the same way games are going to have automatic 16x texture filtering without a patch. This has been confirmed. The Xbox automatically does this. That's why it's so cool. So maybe Google shit before you say someone's full of shit. That's just my advice.
They don't know how to Google, man.
Yeah, the gaggle. What the fuck? Gaggle, man?
You know what's funny? Like I remember an argument
Gaggle.
somebody was having with Jez on Twitter, and they're like, "Give me the proof. Where's the link?" And he fucking responded, Google.com. Like I was like,
this guy here, but Kid also put if Xbox don't show any RPGs, that shit going straight to GameStop, huh? What?
Studio Gobo, bro. Come on.
I mean, just leave it at GameStop if that's the case. No one gives a shit if you personally pick one up. The fans pick
Scorpio
one
have
up.
Persona 5? No, I'm not into that. No, they don't have Persona 5.
What the fuck? I mean, I didn't even know what Persona was before Persona 5 came out.
No, man.
All I know tomorrow is there's going to be a lot of salty ponies. These guys are going to be on suicide watch, and these guys are going to be lethal tomorrow. Just watch the comments.
I've already seen the increase of the PC crowd and the PS4 crowd this past week. Like everybody's just like, "Hey, we better be assholes for as long as we can." You know what I mean?
Hey, that's my next video. I'm about to rip them. I'm about to go in on Neo. You about to get some
by the way, the Game Informer article with Assassin's Creed. You know, I did a video on this yesterday, so if you haven't checked this out, I showed a bunch of screenshots from this. It's my last video, but they did confirm that they played Assassin's Creed Origins on Scorpio after Ubisoft let them play it on their PC. And they said it was running native 4K, and they couldn't tell the difference between the PC version and the Scorpio version.
And it had a better frame rate on the Xbox.
Yeah, they said it had a more stable frame rate, and it was still not even fully optimized. So, you know, as we've all said, 4K 30 will be very common on AAA games at high settings, and you'll even get some games at 4K 60, Gears 4 multiplayer, Forza, etc. So, it's good stuff, man.
I'm hoping to be
30, but I mean, if the game engine is built for 30, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you know what? The 60 shouldn't even be an issue. The issue this generation, we all know, was 900p to 1080p.
No, I disagree with that. 60. I'll be honest with you.
No,
60, not having 60 frames per second is an issue.
No, listen. I'm talking about when these console games are built. They're made on 30. You know, on engines being 30, whether it's Mafia, whatever the hell it is, they're made on 30. You know what I mean?
Well, like I always say, that's a bunch of bullshit because on PC you can force any of that. So
I'm just saying. But
nonetheless, you know, we're gonna get the best looking games you've ever seen in your life.
And that's all that matters.
Especially. Yeah, exactly. So just enjoy your games.
Competition with the PC, the Scorpio's competition is the PS4 Pro. So even to set this parameter, is Sony doing 60? Has Sony ever done 60?
Well, I mean, just because Sony gets hacked, don't mean Microsoft shouldn't worry about getting hacked. You know, people want frame rate. You know, that's just a fact. So everything's better in frames. I know you can't really tell the difference, but we
look
can.
Sure. Graphics.
Okay, you know how you can
get both. That's what I'm saying. You got enough power to get both easily in this console.
You always say that you can never tell the difference between 60 frames or 30 frames per second. Now, Digital Foundry in their video today, they actually had a 4K video up on the PC. Hold on, they had a 4K video up on the PC and a 30 frames per second, and you can clearly see the difference in the frame rate.
Listen, here's my thing. But if I'm playing, I'm quite sure I can probably tell the difference if I had a 60 and a 30 side by side. I just don't give a fuck. I never played the game worried about a frame rate. Never, you know, man. What I do know is graphics. Oh, this shit looks amazing.
Yeah. It's personal preference. It's personal preference.
Here's 22 frames. I don't give a fuck about shit like that, man.
You play Friday the 13th, you tell me you don't give a shit that game is fucking so chuggy and dog shit.
Oh, but listen, that's just a shitty game all around. You know what I mean?
Well, still, the frame rate contributes to that quite drastically. I'm just saying that it's all personal preference with 60 flops. If the CPU is not the problem, if it's not CPU bound, you can do 60 frames ultra on every game on the planet right now with 60 flops. That's a fact. Either you go down to 1440, which is double 1080p almost, or you go down to 1080p. Either way, you can do so much more, and let's hope that they do that. Unlike what they've done with the Pro, a simple resolution.
And I think how the Pro has its checkerboard. I think Scorpio is going to have that stuff that was in the documents, the interpolation of the frame rates to give you the perception of 60 frames per second. I think that may be a thing.
It very well could be. But anyways, guys, we got to head the fuck out. If you want to know anything that was discussed in this video, be sure and check it out when I re-renders and uploads to the channel. Also, the best way to get your comments replied to. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with us. Hit that like button. Check out everybody's channels and videos, and we're out.